Chocolate female plugs, Kanye shrug, hitting numbers that matter.
Like, I don't like him, I ain't feeling his vibe. Guess what? He ain't. If you with me, then I'm your new friend. I'm your new best friend now. Okay? Cause I just, I'm not, me personally, my parents were married for 43 years. Never seen any cheating or anything like that. Never seen any, my male or female friends come to the house. But my mother did have, male friends because of where she worked, and she had co-workers and stuff like that, as well as my father had female, let me take that back, not friends, associates that she worked with, as well as my father had female associates that he worked with. But once again, they were associates. They didn't call the house. They weren't having conversations. They weren't kicking it, stuff like that. No, they were just associates. So, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I get a lot of my mentality on marriage from my parents and from how I seen them vibing. So, yeah. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't date a woman who, has a male best friend or whatever. But I definitely would want to meet him. I would want to feel him out, get his vibe. And like I said, if I ain't feeling him, then we probably not gonna make it. So,
tell you right now, if you have an emotionally dysfunctional partner, they're going to discuss you with the world. They don't care. They'll go on YouTube and do a whole rant. They do not care. Stay away from emotionally dysfunctional people. I'm telling you, they don't do privacy. Emotionally dysfunctional people do not know how to be confidential or private. There's no need to even ask them. Stay away from that type. I've seen it too many times in therapeutic relationships, and even sometimes in my own personal life. Stay away from emotionally dysfunctional people. They are too immature to keep your problems behind walls. They are too immature to keep your problems behind walls. So that's number one. Stop having so many people that you talk to. Relationships are businesses, and the dealings should remain private behind closed doors. Let's go on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You may have possibly been hitched to a spiritual bloodsucker. Now, I'm going to need to do a whole seminar on this one, but you need to understand that you may have been hitched to a spiritual bloodsucker. And what I mean by that is, a lot of us are emotionally abused people who have never worked on their abuse and never sought help. We believe the best way to cope with our pain is to give it to somebody else to handle on our behalf. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The black community, the whole world, but we're talking about us. We are our priority. And I say that unapologetically. My priority is African people. Respect to the rest of the human family, but my priority is African people. We have a lot of emotional vampires in our community. Psychological bloodsuckers whose job is to suck you of your ashe, your divine masculine or feminine energy. They want to suck as much of that from you, and once they've used you up and left you for dead, metaphorically or literally, they move on to the next sucker whose blood they can suck. Do not enter a relationship with an emotional bloodsucker. You will not be happy. A spiritual vampire, someone with a life full of problems that they do not want to face, and they're trying to use your relationship or their relationship with you to distract them from problems they don't want to face. And as a result of that, they make your life a living hell. Get out while you can.
I told you, listen. All right, so I haven't had any emotional bloodsuckers in I would say in a very, very long time. I think I learned about them earlier in my life in dating. And now that I'm older, I can pretty much I can pretty much see those red flags now. Like, I remember there was a nice chick that I met at the bar one night, and I said, what's your name? She said, Trouble. I said, Trouble. Now, she bad, right? I'm like, this bitch bad. I'm like, Trouble, whatever, Trouble. Let me get your phone number, right? Now, already, I'm not going to cap to you. It's nothing but red flags going off in my head because I'm like, this bitch named Trouble. She said her name Trouble. I know her real name ain't Trouble, but for a woman to just say her name is Trouble, and once again, this chick has to be at least no less than 35 years old. So she's between 35 and 40. She's saying her name is Trouble at 35 or 40. I'm like, yeah, we gonna, yeah. Like I say, it's nothing but red flags going off in my head. But anyways, I'm like, I'm gonna go see her, maybe take her out for dinner or something, see what she on, right? So, go pick her up, go take her out. When I take her out and we start talking, all she's talking about is all the drama going on in her life. All the stuff. Now, once again, to her, she's not giving it to me like, like she's telling me stories and she's like, oh, she's not giving me like a sob story or nothing like, oh, I got this going on and I got this going on. Oh, no. She got drama and she lit. Like, she like, yeah, so this nigga bitch went over my son's house. My son was this, son did this. So then I'm like, this bitch did it. So then I call this bitch, did. And I'm like, yo, and I'm sitting there like, whole time like, nah, I don't care. And when I say she was bad, she was bad. I'm talking about slim, thick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, ooh, she's Trouble. Flat, like she said her name was Trouble. And then once I heard all the drama and stuff she had going on, check please. I was like, oh, cool, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm gonna take you home. Yeah, I'll give you a call, yeah, hit me up. Yeah, we kick it another time. Nah, bruh. There's nothing going on because exactly what he's talking about is what she would have been. Every time I call her, every time we get together, it's going to always be about some drama going on in her life. And my thing is, at this day and age, at how old she is, there's no way you should have that much drama going on in your life at that age. If you still have that much drama going on in your life with your family and stuff like that, then I'm not the man for you and you're not the woman for me. So that's big facts.
Get out while you can. There is no redemption for an emotional vampire. Now, if you love them enough, you can make them get some help. But chances are they're not going to seek help because they don't have the willpower, the discipline, the forbearance to work on themselves. They want you to do that job. They hitch themselves to you like a leech. A spiritual leech. They hooked themselves to you and gave you the responsibility of solving their problems.
Been there and done that, bro.
Understand the only person who can solve our problems are ourselves. Beware of the spiritual vampires because guess what? When you first meet them, they look like anything but a spiritual vampire, a psychological blood sucker. Let's go on to number 7, a mismatch of values. Another reason so many black relationships fail is because of a mismatch of values. 1, 2, 3,
lack
4,
of
5,
morals
6,
and
7.
values.
This is number 8, excuse me. What do I mean by mismatch of values?
Some people don't have no
if
values.
I value African spirituality, why am I involved with someone who sees no purpose in it? If I believe in saving money, why would I end up with somebody who believes in spending every penny they got? If I value family, why would I marry a woman who likes to hang out in the streets? If I value my parents, why would I get with a person who doesn't like ever spending time with their own? Values. If I value building a strong retirement foundation for myself, why am I dealing with somebody who's not even thinking about it? Values. If I value community service, why did I marry a selfish ass woman who ain't trying to do nothing for the community? I don't understand why we do this.
Morals and values.
Your life is heading in one direction, her life is heading in another. Your life is heading in one direction, his life is heading in another. You know why we do this? Number 1, we get overwhelmed by the sex. We get overwhelmed by the fun we're having. The honeymoon period, we get overwhelmed by that and we start forgetting that at some point we have to come back down to earth and live this relationship out. And all the things, the values that we do not share are sooner or later going to come into play. That's why a lot of people get divorced after they have children, because she values strong academics and he don't mind if his son just want to play football the rest of his life. Why wasn't this discussed before the children came? And of course, I blame both people for that. I blame the king and the queen. I blame the him and the her. A mismatch of values. You can't do it. Can't do it. When I meet a woman who doesn't have anything in common with me, I automatically know that it could only be about status or appearances, because what I'm about, you're not at all. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, some queens say, hey, let me learn, you know, and I'm feeling this. I'm going to ride with you. But most of the women I've met in my 25 years since my first master's degree, they just want the status and the fame. They see me as a gangster rapper, a celebrity, somebody who can make them look better in public. That's it. That is it. They had no interest in anything I want to do. And I think that speaks volumes for the elders of the conscious community, many of whom got wives and husbands who could care less about the black struggle. It's a contradiction. Just like it's a contradiction to marry out your race, it's also a contradiction to marry to some degree outside of consciousness. It's a contradiction to some extent. There are some exceptions, but if you're serious about this work, there's no way you marry somebody who's not. It's impossible. They have to go along on the journey with you, okay? I don't think Coretta Scott King wanted what Martin was bringing. I don't think Betty Shabazz wanted what Malcolm was bringing. I don't think Amy Garvey wanted what Mr. Garvey was bringing, but they said, you know what? I don't think Amy Garvey wanted what Mr. Garvey was bringing, but they said, you know what? I see where he's coming from. I understand his purpose. And although it's not mine, I'm willing to rock with him in order for him to fulfill his purpose. They bought into the mission. That's okay. That though they were exceptions because they didn't come to the table ready, but they evolved into the woman that those men needed.
Facts.
But I can tell you right now, if Dr. King and Malcolm and Garvey was here right now with some of these sisters we got walking the streets, they would not have evolved to nothing. They have their business all over YouTube, Instagram, reality shows, and everything else, because in the 21st century, black women have really lost a lot of their public dignity. There is no shame for a lot of black women. They will do anything now to get attention. Not all sisters, not most sisters, but a lot of them. Let's move on to number 9. Too many assumptions. Put it on paper. You need a relationship contract. This is an important one as we begin to round this out.
Too many assumptions.
Too many assumptions. I thought she would cook. I thought he would spend more time with my boy. I thought she would accept my daughter as her own. I thought he would respect my mom. I thought we would save money. I thought we would spend a lot of time at home. I thought. What you thinking for? Where's the relationship contract? That's right. Before you get married, y'all need a contract. I'm not talking about the one you do in court. I'm talking about one between the two of you. That one's okay too. But there should be an expectations contract. Where is the expectations contract? That's right. Sit down and write it down. This is what I expect financially. This is what I expect with the children. This is what I expect religiously and spiritually. This is what I expect in terms of companionship. This is what I expect when we are out together. Write it down. Okay?
That's not a bad idea.
Small cracks in a foundation will tear down the biggest house. Tiny, tiny fractures in the foundation of a home will sooner or later bring it to the ground. Relationships aren't always ended on big things. Relationships are often ended by an accumulation of small things, misunderstandings, petty assumptions that should have been committed to paper. There's no bigger recommendation I have for anyone getting into a serious relationship or thinking about it than a relationship contract. You want. I didn't know he would want another wife. Well, he misled you, but you should have had a contract where it said you'd be the only one. People change. When circumstances change, people change. The human mind is unpredictable, and so is your partner. Put it on paper, relationship contract. If I need to go to a notary, go to a notary, but that relationship contract needs to be put on paper.
Good idea.
And whatever is non-negotiable needs to be said that it's non-negotiable. I'm going to be the only wife, non-negotiable. I'm going to be the only husband, non-negotiable. Put it on there. Last and not least, number 10, and again, this is Dr. Umar Ifatunde talking about why black men and women do not get along, part 1. There will be many of these. And the next one is dishonest agendas. Are you in a relationship rental or a relationship commitment? For a lot of people, the relationship is a rental. They are renting it like a rental car. I'm only with you until I find somebody better. I'm only with you until, I love the heat. I will not turn the fan on. Leo season. I am only with you until I find someone better. That's a relationship rental. That's a relationship rental, not a relationship commitment. Many of you are in rentals and you don't even know it because the other person was being dishonest. That's why you need a contract.
Back to
It's
the
wrong
contract.
for people to make you think they serious about you and they're not. It's wrong for people to waste your life and waste your time knowing that the minute they find something better, they're going to unhitch from you and go after that. I say, be honest. Listen, sister, if you're just with me for a couple years, I'm not exactly what you want, but you would like to spend time with me and kick it. I can accept that. I can accept that. This is a rental. No problem. Is there an option to buy here? Is there an option to buy? Well, I'll date you, see how I like it. I might want to buy. Some relationship rentals could come with an option to buy. That needs to be in the contract. That needs to be in the contract.
My man Umar going
If we
in.
have a baby, you're going to give me an opportunity to be your husband. That's an option to buy. If we have a baby, you're going to give me an opportunity to be your wife. That's an option to buy. If you are renting the relationship, say that, listen, Queen, I don't know if we can do this long term. I like you, I'm enjoying you, but we do have some values that I do not think we can reconcile. Some differences in values that I do not think that we can reconcile, but I do like what we're doing. Can we continue to kick it? And if you find somebody who might be long-term for you, that will probably be at the point where we have to separate, but I would like to remain monogamous if we can, trusting that when you find that man, or sister, when you find that man, or brother, when you find that woman, right? You'll let me know, and we'll probably have to call it a day at that point. If it is a rental, say it. Do not say you're buying that relationship. I want to commit to this for the rest of my life. That is a purchase. Don't call it a purchase if it is only a rental. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Please donate to the FDMG Academy, $FDMG School on your Cash App. That's cash.me/$ Dr. Umar Johnson, or paypal.me/FDMG Academy. You can also mail your checks or money order bills payable to the FDMG Academy to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. That's P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. Please support the Shockumentary. You can make your donations for the Shockumentary, made for the movies documentary, to $, Dr. Umar Johnson on your Cash App, or paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, or through Zelle at 215-989-9858. I hope that you find this video useful, and many more will be coming soon. Peace and
Yo, so, man, that was deep. That was deep. And I'm waiting for part 2. See what else he got to say. But a lot of things that he said is definitely fall under the reasons why we probably have issues with each other. But hopefully, things like this, conversations like this, can open up a dialogue, as well as could even, give people things to think about when going into a relationship. Like I say, a relationship contract, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. You know what I mean? So a few things in there that he said that don't sound like bad ideas at all. But everything that he said definitely goes towards relationships. I think one of the biggest things is the morals and values part. And the reason I say that is because morals and values, a lot of them are based off of the way a person was raised. People have to be raised with morals and values. And a lot of times people aren't raised with the same morals and values as you. Sometimes, you can find some people who are raised with the same morals and values, but a lot of times, those are the type of things that definitely have to be discussed in the beginning, when it comes to family and spending time with family, and and relationships and cheating and stuff like that. All that stuff needs to be your religion, spirituality, all that stuff definitely needs to be discussed. And and like he said, one thing I believe is that when a man finds the right woman, or when a man finds a woman that he really wants to be with and really wants to spend the rest of his life with, he's willing to change for that woman. All right, he's willing to. And when I say change, I don't mean change 100%, just do 100 or 180. No, but I mean he'll change a few things in his life to make sure that, he treats her right, as well as to make sure that she's comfortable, right? So I feel that men definitely change for the women that they want. And I feel like women do the same thing. For a man that they want, women will do things that they normally wouldn't do for just a regular dude. But once again, even with that being said, you still have to make sure, the morals and values align with each other, because, you can fall in love and all that good stuff. And like you said, next thing you find out that this person doesn't value the same thing that you value, and they don't have the same morals as you have. I mean, all the way down to, once again, I may be just a petty dude. I probably am. But, like, I'm the type of person that if I sneeze around you and you don't say bless you, I'm not going to get mad at you, but I'm going to think of myself like, damn, I just sneezed. You don't say bless you? Like, you don't know nobody say bless you? Or I've been around people who will burp and not say excuse me. And you be like, you're not going to say excuse me? Like, but that's just little shit. But it's so petty to me, but at the same time, my morals and values wouldn't allow me to do that. Like, if somebody sneezes around me, I'm going to say bless you. Bless you. If I burp, excuse me. I mean, it was just manners. I mean, the burping is manners. But the bless you, I think, is more morals and values, because everybody wasn't taught to say bless you when people sneeze. Everybody wasn't taught to say thank you. Everybody wasn't taught to say please. So, when you get to know people, you start to realize what their morals and values are. And some of them, like I said, for me, you call me petty or whatever, but some things I'll be like, oh no, so your parents didn't raise, oh, okay, no. If you don't know that, if your parents didn't raise you to do certain things, to value certain things, then I'm on to the next one. So I might be single forever. Who cares? I'm going to be making YouTubes. Anyways, I appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland, www.blackfathersofcleveland.com. Make sure you guys go check out the website, see some of the things that we're doing in the community. Really appreciate the love. Peace.